Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. We're going to jump into some content with him around the Federal Reserve. What are they planning to do? And some other interesting topics, as well as last time he was on, he talked about a kid's tax deduction. You can pay your kids if you're self-employed. We're going to talk about that, and also his upcoming book about to be released as well. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties live on air. It's our strategy to maximize the exposure. One of the highest list price to sell price ratios in all of Tampa Bay. We have with our company, Livian Coastal Elite, and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, featuring our listings as a way to help our sellers sell faster for more money right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We got a property at 605 Monterey Avenue in Clearwater. This is one of my favorite listings right now. Single-family home, centrally located, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2163 square feet, non-flood zone. Great opportunity here. You got a beautiful driveway with a large courtyard in the front, no neighbor to one side as well, and a beautiful pool, screened-in pool with updated interior. 605 Monterey Avenue in Clearwater. Also have a 6400 46th Avenue North, unit number 101. We've got this property. I believe that one's in Kenneth City. This one is a property that we've got. It's 1,400 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, and it's a large, spacious first-floor condo with a lake view, 55-plus community, great amenities, pool, clubhouse, fitness center, and more. You can see all of our listings online, PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, we got Mark Haye in the house, 21st Century Financial Group. Mark, a lot of stuff happening in the financial sector. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
I know we're a little after it, but I haven't got a chance to say happy Father's Day to you and every other dad out there, but happy Father's Day to you.
Yeah, man.
I know you're an excellent father, man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, a lot going on. One thing you mentioned is I'm finally going to be releasing my first book next month. And like I was telling you, I've been working on it for a couple of years and just thinking it needs to be perfect. And then I finally just said, just print it.
Get it out there.
You got it. And so the goal is I want it to be 100 pages or less, just a quick read. It turned out to be like 120. But it's called 0%. Literally, the number is 0%. And it's just a guide to get to tax-free retirement, so you can live in retirement without paying any taxes on your retirement assets.
Nice.
And like I said, it's a quick read, and should be coming out next month, and look forward to it hitting. And certainly we'll talk about it again, but
so
that's going to be it.
A guide to legally not pay taxes unless, like you have last name Biden, then you could, just not pay them.
Yeah, or any of them. Pelosi, Biden, whatever you want to do. But, yeah, it's a nice little roadmap starting wherever you're at in your journey and how to get to the 0% tax bracket in retirement and using different vehicles the IRS allows you to doing it legally and taking advantage of the taxes and the tax loopholes that they give you.
Yep. And
certainly we know business owners get the most amount of tax breaks, but I'm talking about retirement planning in that book.
Yeah, exactly.
So look forward to it. 0% is the name. Tax-free retirement is the game. So we're going to hopefully hit that in 100 pages or less.
I like it. Yeah. Hey, quick and easy read, man. People will take that. They'll bite size it and then, do. What I did is I recorded mine on Audible too. So that might be an idea.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people like that Audible book. Mark, tell us a little bit about the strategy, because I know you've been doing this for a while. What are some of the strategies that your clients are implementing right now?
Well, I will say, we talk about, old school way of just investing for 30 years into a 401k, and then you go and retire, and hopefully by the end of retirement, you have some good investments, and you put money away, and you have a bucket of money you can retire with. And I tell people all the time, that is such an old, way of thinking, because we're living in such a different landscape now with no pensions. Social Security's changing all the time. It's bankrupt. The taxes are going to have to go up in the future. And so when people say, I'm just going to put into my 401k or my IRA and defer those taxes until retirement, you're doing business with someone that's $31 trillion in debt.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen down the road?
Right.
That you think they're going to take less money? So no one would ever go into a partnership with anybody that had that kind of debt.
Right.
And then defer that debt for 20, 30 years. So we do different strategies, and we love to have 6 different buckets of money in retirement and have it all tax-free. How do we do that? We do it with alert policies, the Roth 401k, Roth IRAs, or Social Securities, using qualified monies to hit your standard deductions. So we work with our clients all the time, moving money, saving money. But the old adequate way of just save 10% of your money, and let's hope 30 years from now you pick some good investments, and we got a retirement now,
right?
And that we talk about on the radio all the time is retirement is a major crisis here in America. It's just not on the forefront yet.
Yeah,
baby boomers saved. Baby boomers did a good job saving, and they had pensions,
right?
And so luckily they're retired with pensions and Social Security and some savings. Our generation, we're in our 40s and less. There's no pensions, and a lot of times these companies are not even matching 401ks anymore. You have to do it on your own. Sometimes they don't even offer it anymore, just to take that, because these companies have been getting sued. If a employee loses money in the plan,
right?
Well, it's not my fault. It's got to be an employer. You had that stable of mutual funds to choose from, and they all lost.
I remember reading about that in Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game, or the other one called Unshakable, and it said something about it cited a case, and it said that employers were forced to, or had to at least prove that they benchmark their retirement plan against others, otherwise they could be held liable.
Absolutely, and it happened, and that's why a lot of these companies said, okay, we're not going to offer it anymore. Why take the liability?
Yeah.
When I'm just going to turn around and get sued when they're trying to just do what's right by the employee. They want to have benefits to keep the employees. They want to keep the good employees. They want to match any kind of contributions. But again, if they're going to turn around and just get sued, and every mutual fund investment is a risk. You can't just say, I'm going to go into a mutual fund inside my 401k and never lose money. It's not reality. You're going to lose some funds, you're going to lose some, are going to win. Over time, you hopefully would win. But I think that whoever in Wall Street came up with the, more risk equals more reward to sell a piece of crap, is like, to me is so just wrong to tell people that, because more risk doesn't necessarily mean more return. More risk could be more loss.
Yeah.
So we not only want people to get into a 0% tax bracket, but we do want some guarantees. We don't want your whole portfolio just to be, well, I hope the market does good today, you know what I mean, and then sweat it out through retirement and be a miser while you're working. So hopefully someday you can have a pocket of money and then retire, but you're not just going to not be a miser then in retirement. You know what I mean? So you want people to live their life and have fun and enjoy their family and go on vacation with the kids and develop those memories. But at the same time, we should be saving for the future and doing the right thing. And that's why working with an advisor is always going to help. And we talk all the time. I don't charge a fee to meet with me. You know, if you want to meet with me just to see what you're doing and say, yeah, keep doing it. You're doing a good job.
Get
or
a review. Yeah,
absolutely. Or, hey, you know, if you did this, this, and that, you're gonna improve that portfolio. And here's how and why you would do that.
Right.
You know, it's all free. You know, so we tell all the time, reach out to us because we're really happy to take 20, 30 minutes and just here's what you're doing. Here's your goal. Yeah. And here's how you can do to get there. And maybe everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Now, very rarely does someone walk in, and I don't care if they're worth millions or worth hundreds. You know, their estate plan, they don't have one, or they do have one with many, many holes in it, or they need some kind of a trust. They have a special needs child that oh man, we got to get a special needs trust in here, get out of the estate. So there's a lot of things that can be done, but just having a second opinion goes really far. Just like a medical, you don't just go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, we got to take your arm off. Okay, well, let's go, doc. You're probably going to get a second opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before you go and just chop the arm off.
A major surgery, absolutely. 727-263-3707. Call or text. Just text review to 727-263-3707. And we'll put you in touch with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group, and get that review done. I think that's such a smart advice. And, you know, today we're just think about the Americans in so many different ways. We're stretched in so many different ways. $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. We've got record numbers in defaults on auto loans. I mean, people are struggling, Mark. And when you look at one other item to start thinking about is, are the dollars that I'm putting in my retirement plan, if they're going to certain companies, BlackRock, et cetera, are they supporting causes that I don't agree with, that I don't line up with, right? I don't know if you saw James O'Keefe. He put out a new video here talking about BlackRock, and they did an undercover sting. He does such a great job, James O'Keefe and his OMG, O'Keefe Media Group. But he talked about how, in this video, it's kind of like these undercover type stings. I don't know if they put them in like little camera purses or, cameras on the outside of their purse. But the guy, he's just amazing with some of the videos. but he exposed one of their recruiters, and even the founder, the chairman, on stage. I saw him on stage talking about, we're going to force behaviors. So they're talking about ESG, forcing behaviors. Mm-hmm. So you're looking out for those things. You're not investing in those types of what would they be?
Mutual funds, etc. Now, you make a good point too. And I tell people all the time, when you invest in stuff you enjoy, invest in stuff you like or you believe in. Don't just invest.
Right.
You could have an advisor like myself say, these mutual funds over here are excellent mutual funds, but if you don't align it with your values or what you like, or don't do it. Because you should have fun doing it. You should be investing in stuff that you enjoy.
Right.
And then you talk about the ESG. Yeah, if you're not into that, then don't invest with those companies.
Right.
And then Target's finding it out. Bud Light's finding it out. If you don't like what they stand for or believe in, don't put your money with them. Right. You're not going to have fun anyways investing that. You know what I mean? And hoping it goes up or down. Invest in things you enjoy or believe in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it goes so much farther. Money. If you don't get money right in life, you're gonna struggle.
Right.
It is what it is. But if you can work with someone that can help you, and you invest in things that you enjoy and your family believes in, you're gonna be much happier than investing in something like a BlackRock that is going and just buying all this real estate and pushing people out, and families can't buy a home and rent's going up. I mean, don't invest with them.
Yep.
I'm not investing with them. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good model. And I don't agree with it, so I don't invest. Bank of America, I had my money with them for a while, and I don't know, I just didn't like things they were doing. I took it out, went to Achieva.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
they're one of the most woke in the world, man. At Bank of America.
But I'm happier that I did it because I'm investing and putting money with people that I believe in.
Yeah.
I don't have to put money with people I don't believe in.
It's a moral compass.
You
right?
got it.
Yes.
And so really do things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you as a person is the biggest value or the biggest thing you're going to create as far as a monetary system. So I tell people all the time, if you are an employee, a W-2 employee, just develop an LLC so you have a business that you can deduct things from. You can just start anything. I'm a consultant. Okay, what are you good at? What do you know? What's your value? And that money will come in, and certainly you'll be able to have write-offs and take advantage of a business owner life.
Mark, we're talking with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group here. And Mark, another one of the areas that is hurting people a lot right now is this financing of all types, residential homes, commercial loans. We just talked to our solar partner. Solar is, the solar loans to put, on the roof. All of that is going up, and it's based on what these crooks in D.C. are doing out of the Federal Reserve. But I wanted to bring this story to you and see your thoughts on it. U.S. stock futures were down Thursday following Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's reassertion that the central bank's mission to fight inflation. Powell stated that the Fed will likely soon return to raising interest rates. Quote, getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go, unquote, Powell told the Housing Financial Services Committee. So here we go again. They're going to start raising rates again. It's going to start further reducing, it's going to reduce the amount of liquidity in the capital markets, and that's going to affect auto loans, all types of different loans. What's your thoughts?
Yep, and I think that they're going to have to raise interest rates again. They didn't this month, but I think, again, next month or even August, it's going to have to happen again, unfortunately. And like you said, auto loans are already up to 10, 11%. Mm-hmm. People are getting crushed by that. People with credit card debt. All of a sudden now their interest rate's 22% or 24%, because it does go drastically up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's gonna slow a lot of down, because once that happens, the purchasing power goes down, and you'll see it in real estate. You see it all the time with interest rates going up. People stop buying because I could have got an interest rate 3%. Now it's 7%. Okay, well the odds of it going down to 3% in the next few years is probably going to be very slim. And 7% is still a very good deal for a mortgage. That's probably right at average.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not bad.
But if you get creative, and just as well as I do, you don't have to go to the bank to get a loan. You can owner finance things, seller finance. You can get creative with buying a home.
That's true.
And certainly not really worry about the banks.
Yep.
And people are very susceptible to other ideas if they need the cash, and then obviously they do it. But some people want income.
Right.
And that's when you come in and say, look, let's do an owner finance deal. I'll pay you over a 15-year period. Maybe they're retiring. Maybe they need the income. But it's something to have a conversation with and not be intimidated by, the bank's only going to give me this much at 7.5%. Go to them and make a deal. These houses that are sitting on the market, make a deal that Maybe they want the income instead of just having cash and paying taxes.
Exactly. Assume the mortgage. There's lots of ways. Take over the mortgage payments. Lots of ways. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. I want to hit on this kids tax reduction as well. A lot of people have kids. How can they utilize that? How can they pay their kids if they have a business, obviously, and take those deductions? So Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, visit us online. We'd love to connect with you. ConsumerQB.com, at CQB Show on Instagram, at brandonR1 as well. We'll be right back. More with Mark Haye coming up.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm in studio with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group, expert contributor for all things finance. All things finance. Get that review done we talked about. We got some listings here, hot listing here at 3331 Gardenia Drive. This one's in Hernando Beach. Now, Hernando Beach is awesome. It's an awesome community, man. You've got access to the Gulf of Mexico there, wide canals, larger lots, 3331 Gardenia Drive in Hernando. 6 bedrooms, 4 bath, 4,500 square feet, split floor plan, bamboo flooring, vaulted ceilings, and a gorgeous spiral staircase at 3331 Gardenia Drive, Hernando Beach. Also, just listed another property right next to that one. It's actually 2 streets over. That is a gorgeous home on a double lot, just right down the street on the next street over, with access to the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property. Got a couple right there in Hernando Beach. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, Mark. So when you think about these kids' deductions, that was something we hit on in another show. But I think it's just such a great area. You know, as business owners, what can we do? We need to maximize everything we can to have these write-offs.
Yep, and then we'll touch on that, and then I have an Augusta rule we'll touch on. But last time we talked about is if you have a business and some kids, I don't care the age. It could be a 1-year-old all the way up to 18. Doesn't matter. You can pay them $12,950 a year. The business would write that off. The kid does not have to put that as a tax return or file a tax return, and you would still be the owner of the money. So I just met with a couple this morning, husband and wife, and they each own their own business. So that means each of them, they have one child, can put $12,950 from their business. So $26,000 is that household.
Yeah.
That they could take off their gross income from their business. They're going to put it into a tax-free account because, again, no one paid taxes on it. They wrote it off. So essentially it's tax-free. It's going to go into a tax-free account. They're the owners. So the money is sitting there that they just deducted from their business. Basically, they're giving it to themselves, but the benefit of it is going to be their kids. Now, again, you can't just pay the kids and say they paid them and they did work. What do? They were a model. They helped me with social media. They cleaned the vehicles for work. They put away, organized the office. You know, they could do menial things, and it counts. You know what I mean? But that's a huge deduction. You're the same way. You and your wife own businesses. $26,000 per kid. Yeah. It goes, into your account. You're the owner for the benefit of the kid, and all they did, I did the modeling. They did this. So it's a great way to do it. The other one we're going to talk about is the Augusta rule.
Okay.
And the Augusta rule, it comes from Augusta, Georgia, and they had the masters there, and so they were renting houses out, for stay because the hotels were packed and everything else. And so what that does, it allows you to do 14 days a year and rent your house from your business, and that income that you receive as rent is going to be tax free. So let's use you, Brendan. You do a lot of things at your house, and I think you have one coming up 4th of July where you do events and you do Christmas parties and you can do all this stuff. Your business can write you a check to rent that house out at the rate it would be over 4th of July. We know that rates go up, at hotels or banquet rooms for holidays. So if you had 50 people come to your house for 4th of July, how much would it be to go rent a banquet hall and do that?
That's cool.
That's what you could charge for your house.
Wow.
Your business would write that off. You would get that rental income tax-free as long as it's 14 days or less. So anytime you use your home, you can certainly have your business pay it at the rate that it would be. You can't just say $1,000 a night when rents, hotel's $50. Right. So I have a lot of clients that'll rent their house out for the Indy races that come into St. Pete, because it jacks up the hotels.
That's right.
So I'm going to rent my house out, for $10,000 that week or that weekend. Okay. The business would then obviously pay you to rent the house, and you get that income tax free.
Nice.
The business wrote it off. You got it tax free. When the Super Bowl comes to Tampa, same thing. I'm going to rent my house out for $20,000 that week, 7 days. You get 14 days to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
And if you pick areas that are where rent goes up, hotel goes up, do it that and use your house. And you already do it. Just make sure you take advantage of it. I'm just using it as a reason because you do that.
I love it.
You know?
I want to get to a clip I wanted to play here. Jim Jordan questions Durham.
Here's Committee Chairman Jim Jordan questioning Durham about the role high-level FBI officials played in pushing the investigation forward despite convincing evidence against it.
Mr. Durham, in the summer of 2016, did our government receive intelligence that suggested Secretary Clinton had approved a plan to tie President Trump to Russia?
Yes.
Was that intelligence important enough for Director Brennan to go brief the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Attorney General of the United States, and the Director of the FBI?
Yes.
And was that intelligence put then into a memorandum, a referral memorandum?
Yes.
And was that memorandum then given to Director Comey and Agent Strzok?
Yes.
Did Director Comey share that memorandum with the FISA court?
I'm not aware of that if he did.
Did he share it with the agents on the case, working the Crossfire Hurricane case?
No.
Didn't share it with the agents on the case. Can you tell the committee what happened when you took that referral memo and shared it with one of those agents, specifically Supervisory Special Agent Number 1?
He indicated he had never seen it before. He immediately became emotional, got up and left the room with his lawyer, spent some time in the hallway, came back.
He was ticked off, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was ticked off because this is something he should have had as an agent on the case. It's important information that the director of the FBI kept from the people doing the investigation.
Corruption at the highest level, and it's just an unfair, again, two-tier system of justice in this country.
It's so sad. I mean, we touched base very briefly a couple weeks ago on this Durham report when it just dropped and no one was talking about it. You know, and now he's testifying in Congress all week. But it really is a shame, you know, and people get triggered when they hear the name Trump, you know, but for him to go through that and what his family went through, and as a country, you know, we went for 2.5 years, spent, $50 million some dollars on this investigation.
Just wasted.
And on Trump-Russia collusion, and the only people that weren't doing it was Trump and Russia, and everybody else that was blaming and saying did it and investigating. They're the ones involved.
It's like it's the common go-to for them.
It's so sad, you know. And then meanwhile, you know, like we talked about in the beginning, people are struggling, you know, with their credit card debt, taxes, this and that. And meanwhile, we're going to just waste $50 million on something that's the biggest probably political scandal in our American history.
Exactly.
And certainly, if people are not arrested and certainly held accountable, I mean, our justice system is weak.
It's gone.
Weak.
It's gone. Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. What's the website?
xxifinancial.com, and you can text me or call me at 727-804-7220.
xxifinancial.com. Mark Haye, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
All right, hey, another action-packed show for you today, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another and be a force for good. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.